Title of the article is, this is WGN Radio with Bert Odon. Title of the article is, Could Mayor Henyard's departure put Dalton into deeper debt? And my response to that would be who cares? Let's focus on what Bert says about Tiffany Henyard's chances of winning the mayoral election in Dalton that's coming up. We got the Democrat primary February 27th, and then April 1 is the general election. What does probably the most knowledgeable attorney on the whole Dalton Thornton say? Let's get into it. Here we go. We're going to listen to a radio interview, and I get more out of these radio interviews than I do all the other crap that most of us YouTubers put out there. There's just so much of this he said, she said, and all this other crap, and you got to drill down to get to what's important. And what Bert Odon says to me is like, all right, this is what we're rolling with, because he's an attorney. He started this law firm in 1972. He has no reason to lie. He's got nothing in the game as far as he represents, I believe, Village of Dalton, but beyond that, a little bit of representation with Chris Gonzalez. But let's back up the interview a little bit, and here we go.
Because we've been successful in court with injunctions against Henyard from acting out and playing the Queen of Dalton rather than the mayor. And government has gone on, except we were in court again yesterday on another $1 million lawsuit against Henyard for refusing to issue liquor licenses to a beautiful, beautiful $6 million plus building that was built just off of Route 57 in Dalton, and the owners can't operate because she refuses to issue the liquor licenses, which have been paid for and approved. So it's just another waste of money in Dalton.
And these meetings need to take place because we still have insurance policies that have lapsed, correct? Where you can't get senior transportation. People don't have access to, is it the Thornton Township building? What's going on with those insurance lapses? I'd be a nervous wreck if my insurance lapsed.
Yeah, I agree with you there. All I know is what she said, that the insurance has lapsed, and she cut off senior busing. Except the other day she had an event, and guess what buses she used to bus people to her event?
Thornton.
The buses, yeah, correct, Steve, right?
Right, yeah, the buses for the seniors. Which then they don't have any insurance on them, right? So if there was a bus crash,
correct.
Dalton's in the bag again for, whatever it would cost to remedy that.
Correct.
And apparently this was
correct.
Tiffany Henyard is trying to appease her constituents, what few she has left, couple hundred at best, by giving them the services that they basically elected her on. Hey, I'm going to give you, we're going to do big bingo. I'm going to give you rides. And that's the function of Township of Thornton, right? To help those who need some help. Problem is Tiffany Henyard is rolling the dice on liability that those buses don't crash. Because if they do, the financial futures of the Township of Thornton is going to have to pay for that, pay for those big lawsuits that could happen. It's why you have insurance. It's why you don't drive without insurance. But at Tiffany Henyard land, things are different.
Her big bingo event? So she's still throwing big events?
They're events, but they're not big. Very, very, very few people showed up to that event. So even though she still
right here
some support because of some of her giveaways, the overwhelming majority of people in the village of Dalton just can't wait till February 25th rolls around and they can vote.
February 25th they vote, and she would be out of office on April 1st, right?
No, February 25th is the Democratic primary. April 1st, the winner of the Democratic primary, which is where she is on the ballot, runs April 1st, and then she would be out of office after April 1st.
That's the prediction right there. Is Tiffany Henyard has basically no chance. Bert Odon says vast majority of folks in Dalton can't wait until February 27th and then April 1st. So it's coming. So Tiffany Henyard is doing whatever she can to hang on and just keep herself in the game. I mean, give her credit for just basically, she's down by 30 with 2 minutes left, and she is still going, right? And that's what you got. And we're talking basketball, not talking football. We're talking basketball. All right. So Bert Odon basically says, he just lays it out. She's only got, and we see that from the standpoint of, look at the Democrat convention or caucus, I guess it was, Township of Thornton. She had a couple hundred supporters. Those are the only people that are going to vote for her, right? Maybe she gets 100 or two more. I don't know how many, people she's going to get. She does not have enough supporters to win this mayor election by a long shot. And Bert Odon basically just says, majority of people in Dalton can't wait for that date to come because it's going to be a landslide. It's just going to be a landslide. He doesn't even say, there's a chance that, if this faction of her followers votes and these people vote, what politicians usually do, like with the Trump and Harris last election. Oh, it's going to be so close if this state goes to here and if, Ohio votes for whatever, that whole thing. Oh, we got the swing states. There was none of that. It was, Henyard's got a few hundred supporters, essentially, got very few people left, and the vast majority of people in Dalton can't wait to get her out. Period. None of this other, if that happens, if we get this right sequence of voter events happening, none of that. Just boop, done, gone. So that's the prediction. And he's been pretty adamant about that, kind of leaving clues as he goes. And now he's at a point where he's just like, she's done. So I think everybody else knows she's done as well. She's running out the clock, and we'll just see what she's got. But we've got a handful of other things that have happened recently. Supervisor Tiffany Henyard sues two Thornton Township trustees over meeting absences. So what she did, and this is the Chicago Tribune, she filed a mandamus complaint, which just basically says she's trying to force Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle to attend township board meetings through an order of the Cook County Circuit Court. Make them come to the meetings. Make them come and participate in the meetings. Well, what happened on Monday? High-stakes Thornton Township meeting abruptly ends in chaos, blindsiding Henyard. Call the police. Let's watch this video. And I've played all this stuff on other podcasts, but it's worth just going through because this all has to do with, it's all cause and effect, right? So here we go. This is the meeting on Monday, and this has to do with that lawsuit that she filed.
Business on the agenda, including approving a budget, a critical tax levy ordinance, and insurance, but none of it got done. In Thornton Township, more turmoil and strife. Frustrated residents shaking their heads after this meeting ended before it really began.
The board meeting's over with, so please get out. Do not walk up on me.
Get out!
Call the police because we don't have a board meeting.
For the first
Call
time,
the police.
the Board of Trustees had a quorum with trustees Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle in attendance. The two had been skipping meetings in order to block Supervisor Tiffany Henyard from filling a vacant trustee position. But last week, Henyard went to court to try to compel the trustees to attend, citing a severe disruption of township services from a government shutdown resulting from the standoff.
It's not going to bully us. It's not going to force us to do something. We know we're doing what's right, and we're going to keep moving forward.
We have a formal quorum, so we will be having a board meeting this evening.
But that was wishful thinking after the Pledge of Allegiance and an opening prayer interrupted by jeers.
We give you glory. We give you honor and praise, Holy Spirit.
Gonzalez
Now watch, because this happens super quickly. It's over like that. Here we go.
and Carlisle abruptly ended the meeting.
Motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
Motion seconded.
We is not adjourning no meeting. At the end of the day, we got to pay them.
What?
The trustees
Got to mess y'all on.
Out of their elected.
Mr. Gonzalez, Miss Carlisle, did you attend the board meeting on January the 13th, whatever it was? Yes, Your Honor, we both did. Done. That's what that was all about. Can they attest in a court hearing that they attended the board meeting? And they did. They did. They just didn't get very far beyond that. They attended the meeting. They got a quorum. They got it going. Boom. Done. I think that's kind of brilliant.
Position during a meeting, not for nothing.
A blindsided Henyard talking layoffs.
Y'all not understanding. People's jobs are at stake and pretty much is no longer because of the lack of insurance.
This all comes a week before a special meeting where Township residents will select the new trustee for that vacant position. Henyard has objected, saying she still has that authority.
Wild stuff, right? But is this shocking? No. This is the same train wreck we've been watching for literally, is it years now? I think I came in heavy in 2024. I think I did one or two podcasts, maybe back in 2023. They didn't get a lot of traction, but then I did a couple and it was like, wow, there's a lot of people paying attention to this topic. And for some reason, you guys tune in to a middle-aged white dude in Seattle that's got a real estate background. I mean, how arbitrary is that? This whole thing is arbitrary, isn't it? Because I'm covering something in Chicago, Illinois. How about all the coyote? How about all the coyote incidents happening in Chicago right now? You got that the cop pulled the coyote out of the Aldi store in Chicago. You had some kid stomped on a baby coyote, on a coyote pup. You had a freaking airplane crash into a coyote on the runway and you got a hole in it and you had to bring it back. All kinds of stories about it. It's coyote mating season. Pretty wild stuff, but nothing nearly as wild as what's going on Township of Thornton, Village of Dalton. But this is we got 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and we're winding the clock down. That is what you're saying. That is what that Chris Gonzalez, that's what that Carmen Carlisle was, is they showed up. I mean, all that effort to put the meeting together and boop, done. And Chris Gonzalez was unapologetic about it, right? He was just like, hey, you're not going to force us into doing some crap that we're not willing to do. And this is just straight up politics. Whether you're on Tiffany Henyard's side, which I hope you're not, because you're on the side that's exposing massive liability. And for what? Some big bingo prizes that were supposed to be given away, but are actually bought by Village of Dalton or Township of Thornton, whatever that is. So did they have a quorum? Yes, they did. Did they officially have a meeting? Yes, they did. Did they get anything done? No. Answer is no. And that's how most of this is going to go. I would say that they're going to get the insurance maybe squared away because that's pretty important. They might get a couple of more pieces done, but they're certainly not going to, get to voting on a trustee. That's not going to happen. That is just never going to happen. And whatever it takes to not have that happen, expect to see that. Whatever format that takes. But, I mean, this is just the inevitable train wreck you're watching unfold. The train is, half of it is crashed over. The other half, we're just waiting to see, is it going to explode or is it just going to kind of plop over and, just burr, 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 burr. Have to stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.